we generated around 560 plus million impressions organically. There was
creating property cards for the first time for people owning houses in the rural areas.
We have a patent on a bits technology, which...
But we were really guided by what we wanted it to be.
In terms of the content consumption pattern has changed.
Very competitive, very strong.
The objective is basically to democratize cancer care.
I see a very bright future for retail industry.
Technology now allows us to scale up.
We also want to help patients become more compliant.
If I look at the custom solutions market, it's almost about $1,500 billion.
Your customers will not continue to be with you if you don't change it.
We had adopted digitalization much earlier.
Within a very short span of time, we are the number one operator in the whole of South India.
If you are reaching out to a lakh people today, you would be reaching out to an entire globe tomorrow.
We got those two brands and then immediately got into a few of the LFRs and there was no looking back.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 37th episode of Ascent Talks. My name is Ajit Panikar, and I've been an Ascent member for over 2 decades. For over a decade, 10 years, man, dude, I forgot that. and lead Nova, an air conditioning company, and Pure Blue, a tech-enabled startup in the air conditioning domain. And as usual, my co-host is Aleem. How are you doing, buddy?
Fantastic. Good morning, everyone, to the 37th episode of Ascent Talks. Very excited to have you here today.
Awesome. So guys, Ascent is a not-for-profit organization founded by Harsh Mariwala, Chairman Marico Limited, and his deep passion for identifying promising entrepreneurs in the growth stage. Its primary objective is to support these entrepreneurs in expanding their enterprises and enhancing their entrepreneurial journey. Since its establishment in 2012, Ascent has successfully empowered over 850 entrepreneurs throughout India. Ascent stands out as a remarkable platform that fosters peer-to-peer collaboration, leveraging the collective strength of its members. At the heart of this platform are self-facilitated groups known as trust groups, where entrepreneurs come together to share their experiences, exchange ideas, and provide valuable insights. And by creating such a vibrant ecosystem of learning and growth, Ascent enables its members to benefit from each other's knowledge and expertise. Ascent Talks, which takes place every week, showcases the journeys of Ascent members, highlighting their fascinating entrepreneurial experiences. So let's bring in our speaker today, Aleem.
Absolutely. And welcoming our 37th guest on our show today is Jaymeen Thakkar. Jaymeen Thakkar is the director of JD Merchandise. He's a leader which are leaders in the textile industry, and they're based in Ahmedabad. Jaymeen is an entrepreneur by legacy, a cancer survivor, a workaholic, and a curious learner who keeps his mind and body and soul in sync to be a better version of himself. JD Merchandise deals in sourcing, marketing of cotton fiber, cotton yarn, and trading of knit fabrics. Jaymeen has led the company's turnover to over 70 to 80 crore, and JD's clients today are leading cotton spinning mills, cotton yarn merchants, exporters, and domestic textile companies engaged in knit fabrics. So, Kem Cho, Jaymeen Thakkar.
Yeah, I'm fine, Aleem. All good. Ahmedabad is happy to see Mumbai guys connecting today.
Fantastic. Ahmedabad and Mumbai anyway have a very strong connection. So, Jaymeen, just to start off, while I did introduce JD Merchandise, tell us about the business. Tell us about what drives you and why you're so passionate about cotton.
Yeah, we are a 2 decades old company dealing mostly in sourcing, marketing of cotton yarn fiber. We earlier started as agri products of cotton seed and cotton seed derivatives. So it's a long journey we have gone through. And the things that drive us while dealing in cotton are a little bit nationalist, a little bit eco-friendly. Cotton, I'll tell you first, India is one of the largest producer of cotton fiber in the world. Before 10 years, it was one of the largest exporter of cotton fiber. But with developing of spinning mills, now we are the largest exporter of cotton yarn in the world. So that's a big achievement that India has got. And in coming days, we may be integrating further to the fabrics and largest cotton textile exporters in the world. That's the one thing. Another thing, why I would like to tell that why we are happy whenever I sell cotton in India or anywhere, I feel very much happy because cotton is grown by farmer. It's a natural product. And whenever I market cotton products, I sell, I get a happiness because I am contributing to the farmers who are working at the last ground level.
Yes.
All other textile fibers would be coming from various sources, but most of them are either imported or do not contribute to the last person in the economy. So this is a product which makes us an inclusive growth. So that's one thing. Another thing, when we are using cotton fabrics within India, we are saving exchange for our country. So that is also making me always happy. Another side, I'll tell you, you buy a cotton fabric and you are going to get a competitive quality milk at your doorstep. Do you believe it? Did you know ever these things? Yeah,
No, how does that happen?
I'll tell you. Before that, I'll tell you one more story. You know, there were Akbar Bilbar stories when we were in schools and so on. Once Akbar had asked his court or everybody in the court, his courtyard, that which is the best flower in the world. And everybody were given 2-3 days. And then Birbal came with some said rose, some said jasmine, lavender, whatever. Okay, Birbal came with the answer that it's a cotton flower. Why? Because cotton flower is always used, cotton fiber is used in textiles. That's number one. Those were the days of war. Even in today's war, when anybody gets injured, cotton fiber is the best thing to put it first on the injury when the blood is shedding out. Okay, it's highly antibiotic than any other thing. It's a natural thing, right? So that's another point of view. Third thing, when the cotton stamp is used for burning and fire purpose, when it's dried and left, so it is also useful. Besides cotton, there's a cotton seed coming out. Initially, the cotton seed was fed direct to the kettles, from which we get a high protein, highly nutritious milk, and that comes at our doorstep. Today, the process has changed. There's one more benefit. We extract oil, and that is refined cottonseed oil used in frying pans and those our fried and snack item. So we are consuming it, and the residue is even today offered to the kettles all over India, and it's highly nutritious, high protein, and then we get a high fat. So our Amul milk or whatever milk you get at your doorstep comes from there. So every time you are buying a cotton fabric, you are also supporting the another ecosystem which is delivering milk at your doorsteps.
My God.
That makes us very,
amazing.
very happy.
That is really amazing. You know, Ali, this is how, when a guy like me who is in air conditioning, whenever we go anywhere, the first thing I'm looking is, acha kaun sa AC laga hua, kaun sa hai. This is exactly what is happening. Life is around cotton, completely around cotton. I believe everything that he's wearing also is completely cotton, and he has not worn anything other than that.
That was like cotton of India for us.
I swear. But Jaymeen, I mean, cotton का इतना impact है, आपने जिससे बताया, there's so much of impact around it. इसमें opportunities क्या है यार? I mean, global opportunities क्या है? What is the world positioning of cotton? How big is India playing this role? Give us a little insight into that. What are the opportunities coming around this industry?
See, for cotton, India has been the largest producer from many, many centuries. Cotton textiles is made in India and exported from India from many, many centuries. We are very old in this business. The colonial days were that put a lot of issues, and we were into handicrafts, and there were machineries outside. But today, India is coping up with the world. And today, for cotton, I think India is one of the most hot favorite destinations for any buyer. Every third or fourth garment you may be buying from any international brand, either it's H&M, Zara, Marks and Spencer's, or anywhere, it is highly possible that is originally made from the raw material supplied from India. So that's the market size. Cotton is one of the richest fabric in the world. Everybody in the world would prefer to buy cotton. Even in the cold countries, in European countries also, still cotton is at a premium. And India is trying to cope up with the processes. But since this is agriculture produce, we have a lot of challenges. We don't have the acreages to increase. We don't have the output. Still, there's a challenge that cotton output per hectare of India is much lower than international standard. Although being the largest exporter of cotton yarn and one of the largest producer, we have largest acreage in the world, but our output per acreage is still a challenge where government is trying and everybody, non-government body is also trying to find out some way so we can increase, but it's a highly potential. It's highest employment. Textile sector is, I think, one of the largest employment in India and in the world also. So there are huge opportunities, and as the global civilization is going to develop all over the world, these are the basic needs that come. So future of cotton is extraordinary. If I go into numbers, it will go like an economist. So I'm not going on that way with the number that this many thousand crores and we are getting, but we are getting a lot of foreign revenues, and this is a sector which connects with Indian civilization, culture. So it's not only the export of products and getting money, it's always connecting the customer with the Indian soil, because cotton comes from the soil.
Amazing.
Wow. Right. Okay, I'm announcing a special contest for anybody who can count how many times Ajit, I, and Jaymeen say cotton in this show. Okay, whoever gets it will get a special prize. But sorry, Jaymeen, coming back. So, Jaymeen, tell us about JD. Tell us about your company, about your entrepreneur journey, and tell us, about your brother and how you all got together in this business after being in separate businesses for 10 years.
Yeah. I'll tell you a story. I'll start with from a little sad note. I lost my father at a very young age. And then the days were challenging and things were not going good. I was busy counting failure after failure. And end of the day, there was a situation that me and my brother had to depart geographically. He shifted to the Morbi, which is my maternal hometown. And both started the business as a solopreneurs. He was working as an agent in cotton seed, and I was working as an agent in cotton seed cake, which goes to animal feed. So that's why I know that story. Otherwise, many cotton textile players do not know that part. From there, as a solopreneurs, we started our journey. Slowly and gradually, as we grew up, we became old, and industry gave us the proposal and offer to promote ourselves and to come into the textiles. We got an opportunity and we came together, and we started our journey as a hardcore corporate marketing company in cotton textiles, as cotton yarn, fabric and fiber, and so on. From the journey as a solopreneurs to we have a team of 12 to 15 people now over here. We have a branch office even in Morbi. Today our partner looks into this seed and agri business and so on. So we are into a corporate, semi-corporate model, but we are working together. We have achieved good success, as you consider, with figures and numbers and sales. From zero to we have created a very good intellectual property. JD Mercantile itself is today a brand in India for marketing cotton yarn and so on. We enjoy a higher leverage than our peers. So that's what I count in success. I do not count lot of numbers and monies and those things. But I think that one of the biggest achievement of JD Mercantile was that I started business with my brother, and he is a co-founder in this company, and we started the journey. So starting the journey itself, I consider as an achievement. And having him at the next door, I just shout and he'll come here in 30 seconds. And that's what I consider as the biggest success, because coming together is one thing, staying together for more than 10 years after having business as a solopreneurs, different way of working, coming together is I think a success, which is I see and I note every evening. Every morning we come, we have got small difference of opinions, difference of things, but at the evening we are going together, and that's what I consider as a success.
Fabulous.
Amazing. So Jaymeen, this is where I want to ask you about, when you actually came across, I want you to talk to us about how easy was it for both of you all, because for 10 years you all were independent businesses, right? And of course, you all were in the same industry, non-competing, but you all decided to come back together and join a business. What are the big challenges that you faced? What is the impact? We are all here to see that you are one of the largest companies around the space and you have a great leverage around it. But what were the challenges around this? Trying to come together. I'm sure it was not a cakewalk.
Yeah, so what you say is, I understand when we came together, you use the word that how easy it was. But actually, the proper word would be the how tough and hard it was. Because if it's a partner, then the way we talk is a different way, because we are insecure. Isko kuch bol denge, sala bhag jayega, right? Yeah, and when it's a brother and real brothers, we are educated together, stayed together, so the chemistry is little bit different. We get harsh, we get rude to each other sometimes. Even today, I accept I am also doing like that, because there has to be difference of opinion. Otherwise, it's not two minds. It's just one mind and another is the follower. So there is difference of opinion. But the good thing is we come from a family background where we are taught a lot of ideologies. So our ideology is very much common. The trait says honesty, dedication of work, delivering the right products, that are very common, that are not compromised. Only whatever the difference of opinions would come in the way of expansion, taking new clients, taking the risk, adding new products or not adding the products. These are the things, but we have very clearly differentiated our departments. I do not get into the small small points into his department. We work like a corporate. So he looks into administration, he looks into the finance, he looks into his own product kitty of products he does. I have my own kitty of product. We do not comment or advise, means it's like a Ascent culture. We do not advise कि तुझको ये करना चाहिए था तो ये पार्टी आ जाता, तूने ये किया होता तो ये ऑर्डर आ जाता. We do not work like that. What we work is हमने क्या achieve किया, that's the best, and we discuss what is achieved. We discuss where we want to go, but we don't put the roadmap. Roadmap goes on the individual, how he wants to do. And we do not compare performances with monetary income, because it's like a placebo effect. He's into raw material, I am in the finished products. There are a lot of limitations of both the guys. So we do not see the sales and the contribution in the form of revenue. We always consider contribution in the form of hard work and inputs and the things what is brought to the company. So that makes us moving easier. If we go for financial revenue and contribution and that way, then the things will go in vain. It will not give the results. It will not give us the growth what we have achieved. We do not calculate the growth. We just make sure that we are growing and we are moving together. That's our primary objective.
Jaymeen, I want to ask you this question. Okay, most entrepreneurs would not talk about, would never say that, growth I don't measure by numbers and all. We all measure this by numbers today. But I think, has this been, and it's difficult, or rather this comes across because probably was it after, you realized that you had cancer and, and then suddenly you had to, is that realization happen? Tell us about your cancer.
I'll tell you cancer, but I'll answer your first question. That from the day one, I said we come with a different ideology. So we never said about numbers. I told I was counting on failures one after another. I'll tell you something very honestly, Aleem, that I was in a position that I could not dream of a Maruti car, basic Maruti car. Today, if I wish, I just tell my brother that I want a Mercedes, he would bring next day morning. He looks into admin, finance and purchase, but he will make sure that I've got next day morning. So I don't think that counting numbers bring us, counting our work will take to that place. That's what I believe. Sure. Second thing, when we came together, now coming to that Ajit's question, what was the easiest thing? The easiest thing was, I was detected with the cancer and it was 100% life-threatening cancer. So the things were very much different. The most challenging thing was to hand over my part of business. I being the key person, I have my own commodities to play. He has his own commodities to deal in. And my job was like the top priority from my family and for myself was to start my treatment within 72 hours. It was the third day that I get my first radiation. On the fifth day, I got my first chemotherapy. It was the as fast because the need of that cancer was to treat it immediately. So I detected with the cancer. Next day, I come to the office. I hand over everything to my brother. I just do a broadcast and let my clients know that I am detected with the cancer and I am moving out of the office. Whatever affairs is now you take with my brother. But the things was easy because the growth of JD Mercantile also rests into the technology. We have input lot of technology and systems. So after sales, I had a team who looks and there's a ERP which looks and tells the service guy that after this you have to do this your order, then PI, then you have to look into the quality, plan the delivery and get the things done. So the system was there and it helped the things to go very smooth. For my brother also it was easy because he had to just close the orders with the existing clients. And we being the luckiest company, we have not lost any clients during my I think it was 9 months I was on treatment. I came to work back after 9 months and I had handed over into him 72 hours. After that, 3 to 4 months, I did not know anything. I never asked what's happening in the business. I had a young kid, I had a wife, I had a responsibility towards that. So during my treatment, my only objective was first to the survive. Once I survived, then the challenge was much higher to come back to the work. My rehab was one of the highest challenging because I'm compromised with the stomach. So I don't have any storage. I don't have stomach almost. So I had to had 9 to 10 meals those days. So every 45 minutes, I need a small bowl of food. And that was the challenging part because it was not dry, any dry snacks I could not have. It should be freshly cooked and mostly boiled food. So it was a challenging part, but things went well. And in India, we get the right people for the right things. So after I got through my chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, and when I was for rehab, I was in a very difficult point where my rehab was challenging because everybody is very unique and it comes in its own way how to come back. But I got the right people and I got everybody who can help me. I during my rehab, I'll take 2 minutes, but I had psychiatrist, I had parapsychologist, I had physiotherapist, I had yoga teacher, I had a mindful coach, I had a lot of my spirituality and religion basis, my prayers, a support of the family. I had doctors who were very closely associated and were trying their best to get me back. I had nutritionists, I had Ayurvedic wife, all of them on the board on the same time. And I had made a deadline like an entrepreneur that next 100 days I'm going to office and I'm to join my business. So I let my clients that I am on the way of rehab. I will take 100 days, but from 15th August onwards, I will be back in the business. I made the announcement. I was in such a dilemma that I never knew I couldn't sit to my office for 15 minutes. I used to come every another day for 15-20 minutes. I used to get nausea and I'll go back at home. It was like that. But I made an announcement that let me see what happens. Yeah. And that 100 days, these people helped me a lot. And I came back and it took 3 to 5 years for me to get to my normal pace. Today also I work a little bit lesser, 10 to 6 I work. Again, noon 1 hour I need to have rest after food. And if I'm traveling, I have to be very much sensitive with the food, but everything is online. And I am very much happy that I am able to contribute to my family, my business, and this cotton ecosystem, which made me flourish so much well. And this even cancer has made me the importance of money and materialistic things more lesser than it was earlier.
How amazing is that, Jaymeen? It is fantastic. You're like one positive man, yeah. I mean, you get a life-threatening disease and says that it's 100 days. I'm going to beat you to it. But it's too good, yeah, Jaymeen. And I know it's no easy task what you've gone through. It must be one one difficult moment. But amazing story. Amazing that you could actually share that with us. Tell us also about this whole Ascent thing, and how did Ascent happen for you, and how did all that happen? What's your Ascent journey?
Yeah, I always like to be learning new things. I'm a learner and I like to be with the like-minded people and so on. So one day I got on the internet some advertise about Ascent. I made some study and I just told, let me try this. So I ventured into it, and slowly and gradually, it's a 2 years of journey. I'm learning a lot of the things. I'm improving in a lot of the things. It's not so like you have to be educated directly. Now we are much more bigger. We are not in the school that you have to write words to learn the words and so that. So we understand the things. We understand from the peers that what are happening, what we should do. The best thing I learned that check-ins help us for two things. Whenever I do a check-in, I think I realize that this is the thing which makes me move. And I also realize that this is the one thing I need to improve on every check-in. So irrespective of what others and Ascent contribute, the check-in itself contributes to me myself, giving me a time to realize what I have done in last 1 month, what I need to do. And I've got a very nice TG that like everybody has. We are an all India trust group, but we are bonding with each other slowly and gradually. Because of COVID times, we were not able to have physical meet, and so, but now we are making sure that we meet every 3 months. And now it's like 24/7 hotline family, that I have any issues, I'll post it and everybody is there and give me what they would do in such situation and how should I go ahead. I get my path, I get a right direction.
Amazing. Too good, man. So just one thing, Jaymeen, earlier you were saying, that, listen, I work less right now, but I work from 10 to 6. That is normal, okay, dude? It is not less. But I just want to correct you, and then just keep that in mind. It's not less. It is maybe a little more than what most people put.
I take 1 hour of rest in the noon. Even meanwhile, I'll take small breaks of 15 minutes. I'm into sourcing and marketing. My clients are exporter. They work from 8 in the morning to 11 in the night. They've got inquiries at the night. They will post me. Even our business time, my business time is generally start from 9 to 9 in the evening. People close deals at the 9 p.m. in our business, right? And I am a guy that my clients, I'm a service company. My client is a merchant exporter, spinning mill, a multi-millionaire, industrialist. He knows that 6 o'clock Jaymeen is off duty. So 5:30, if he wants to close the deal, he'll call me that you please close it. He knows that if it's 6:15, then Jaymeen will say that sorry sir, I'll do it tomorrow, or you find somebody else. It's like that. I lose my business. Yeah, Ajit, I lose lot of business every day, and the worst part of that is I'm aware that I am losing the business. See, the pain is that that you business you could close with just a phone call, but since I have to care for my health, so I do not go for all snarling phone calls all the time. So that's why
Jaymeen,
I say that.
No, Jaymeen, I think it's fantastic. You're an eternal positive person. There's so much of energy that comes from you, and you're a great fighter, and that shows everywhere. And of course, work-life balance, and that's what you need as entrepreneurs. Jaymeen, we're just like about 2 minutes away from a half an hour, so we're kind of to the end of the show. But it's been truly inspiring listening to you. Your story is fascinating. It's so motivating. This is going to be a fantastic weekend for most of us who have heard you out. It's like recharged all of us during the weekend. What do you say, Aleem?
Absolutely. And on a lighter note, I want to ask you, Jaymeen, when you were on the hospital bed, were you saying ye cotton ka bana hua hai? When you was putting the ye cotton acha nahi hai, were you doing that?
No. I never analyze the quality of cotton. It is not needed. Yeah, you buy any damn cotton, it's going to be contributed to anybody. Yeah, and
amazing.
Naturally, most things are cotton anywhere in the hospital. I do not see like that.
You want his favorite place kind of a stuff.
Yeah.
Amazing, Jaymeen. So, Jaymeen, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you with us today, and it's been fantastic hearing you out. Thank you for taking time out and sharing your story and your journey with us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, and I hope this weekend all Ascent guys would buy the products with 100% cotton tag, at least one garment.
Yes,
Amazing. Too good, man.
Yeah.
Too good. Thanks a lot, Jaymeen. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
taking time
Bye.
out for
Bye.
us today. Bye.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was too good, man. I love that little.
Yeah.
I like the enthusiasm. There was no negativity even in his whole. The whole challenge is also is like an inspiring. It's just positivity and everything. Well, guys, we are at the end of our show. We're just 30 minutes at the end of the show. So if you're an entrepreneur just happy doing what you do, follow us on LinkedIn and all the other social media handles, the podcast. You will find the show also on all the leading podcast channels. Share it with another entrepreneur. You can inspire, especially this one. Go ahead and share it. It's a great, inspiring story today. But if you believe in the next decade is in the era of India and you want to be part of the story and believe you are growth ready, then you should visit ascentfoundation.in and apply for membership. Note that this option is not like you pay a fee and get an immediate membership. Ascent team will get in touch with you and evaluate if you're truly growth ready, and we'll be happy to have you as part of our cohort. So that's it for today, and we're going to see you next Friday at 11 a.m. with another equally interesting story. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye, Aleem.
Have a great weekend. See you, Ajit.
Have a great weekend, guys. See you. Bye-bye.